Hello, everyone. I'm Michael, a creator relations manager for HTC ViveVerse. Today, I'm joined by Jonathan and Steven from the Wonderland Engine team. Today, we're going to be doing a tutorial about using the ViveVerse integration with Wonderland Engine to allow Wonderland Engine developers to publish to ViveVerse. Jonathan, Steven, do you want to give a quick introduction to yourselves?
Absolutely. So I'm Jonathan Hale. I'm the CEO of Create Worlds, the company behind the Wonderland Engine, which is a 3D engine optimized for VR, AR, and 3D on the web. So it's effectively made to fulfill the performance requirements that you have when you render a stereo rendering in or a headset, delivered through the web as fast as possible with super fast download times while still providing a developer experience that is similar to the big engines. So you have a very nice workflow, but with ultra fast packaging times for like that kind of web development iteration times. And today I'm here with the main developer that worked on the template for the ViveVerse integration, Steven.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Steven, and I'm from India. And I've been developing with Wonderland for almost half a decade. And recently, we've been cooking this template for a while, and quite excited to share that with you guys.
For anyone who's unfamiliar with ViveVerse, maybe you're coming from the Wonderland community, ViveVerse is a platform for hosting, distributing, and monetizing 3D experiences in the web browser. For today, we're going to be using a few different ViveVerse tools. But before I talk about the plugin that we've made with Wonderland Engine, in general, ViveVerse offers a number of SDKs that are optional to use, but allow developers to accomplish a number of things with ViveVerse, including accessing the ViveVerse, a user's ViveVerse avatar account name. We also have ones for, making more complex multiplayer games, like with a leaderboard SDK and matchmaking. But for our integration with Wonderland, they have integrated our avatar and authentication SDK. So when you publish, you will be able to see your ViveVerse avatar and display name if you are a user who's signed into the experience. We'll be following this documentation in the Wonderland Engine GitHub, and we'll be using the template from here. But let's hop into the live demo real quick to show folks what they'll be experiencing. In this example, we have the application automatically pick up my ViveVerse account and avatar and rig it with a basic WASD character controller. Now, this is also supportive of, this also supports mobile and VR as well. So while I don't have it recording right here, you can also join and have a character controller example for both mobile and if you're in headset using joysticks. And as you can see, it is multiplayer. Now, we are not using the ViveVerse SDKs for multiplayer here because Wonderland has a fantastic multiplayer service of its own. We're actually using the Wonderland Cloud multiplayer service. So that's a great thing about ViveVerse is we're able to let developers, if you're used to building on Wonderland and want to use the awesome services they have over there, you can also bring those to ViveVerse, and ViveVerse can connect to those. So here we can see we have, about 5 ViveVerse avatars all connected and networked across using that Wonderland Cloud multiplayer service. So this is what we're going to be building. This GitHub repo is kind of the central place to download the template. I've already downloaded it onto my computer, as well as the latest version of Wonderland Engine. We're going to be integrating the ViveVerse command line interface so that we can publish directly to ViveVerse Studio directly from within Wonderland Engine. First prerequisite, you must have a ViveVerse account and access to studio.viveverse.com, which is where you manage all of your worlds and experiences as a creator. Second, we need to make sure that we're using a Node version that's compatible with the ViveVerse command line interface. And in this case, we need to use Node version 22.15. So an important note, if you're using NVM, which I happen to use on my computer, you need to make sure that you are launching Wonderland Engine in the context of whatever node version that you're using with NVM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use NVM node version manager to upgrade to 22.15. And then within the same terminal, I'm going to be opening up Wonderland Engine so it picks up that version that I've specified. And then I'm just going to do open and then reference my Wonderland editor app. So this should automatically pick up that context here. Now I'm going to proceed with opening the project. I'll go to Browse. Then I'm going to look for my example here. I actually have to open to unpack that real quickly.
Exactly.
So I'm going to unzip the file, go to Browse. Then I need to look for my .wlp file here. Great. So my project is opened. No node errors that I can see here.
In Wonderland Engine, you usually have some form of camera setup in your 3D scene. In this case, our camera is in the player object or in the player hierarchy, which has a tracked space, which is basically the root of your scene. So if you have a scene where you can stand up and walk around, that's your scene root. And then the left and right eyes are for VR, while the non-VR camera is what's going to be used for mobile and desktop. All of these have an input component assigned. So the eye left has an eye left input, the eye right has the eye right input, and the non-VR camera is controlled via a mouse. This is a little bit different from the default setup because we have the third-person character controls here, and so we have an orbital camera, and the tracked space, I suppose, has the controls for walking around. Okay,
Gotcha.
it's a player height component. That's for VR, but that's fine. All right. So I think that's pretty much what you need to know, aside from maybe the controller input is to be found here as well, in case you want to kind of add mouse controls or the cursor controls or point and click with VR. That's all found there. And then the rest of the multiplayer setup can be found probably in the client, which is on the player.
So like if you're a new person who is opening the template, you don't know what to do, just go to players and open the simple example client component, expand that. Exactly. So that's the component responsible for the networking. If you don't need it, just disable it. Click. Okay.
Great.
Now if you press the green button, which is, so once we tested it, like it works fine, then you can go to view and plugins. Okay. Now enable the plugin. So whenever you're ready, you can go to views and click on plugins to view the plugins and enable the plugin for the project and enable the VIVERSE publish plugin.
Yes.
Here you can enter the email and password to log in.
Great. So this uses the command line interface to connect to our authentication as for publishing. Great. And then it gives me my account ID, which is unique to my user account. And then the other command line interface functions are buttons here, which is super nice. Awesome. So this, we will need access to studio.viveverse.com, right? We need to be able to create an application.
Yeah. So if you're a new person joining, like a new person using the template, you can click on the create application and go to VIVERSE Studio and create a new application.
Great.
But if you're already an existing user with existing application, that I will show you like how to set up that as well.
So this came to the upload tab of studio.viveverse.com. I'm going to click create new world here. I'll give it the testing, I'll call it testing Wonderland November 4th. Description is optional, and then agreeing to the platform agreement. I can click create. And then this creates an application. Think of an application on VIVERSE as a container for any content that you're uploading. But associated with your application is this app ID, which you need to hard code into your application or use as an environment variable to be able to connect to VIVERSE, any of our SDKs, which we'll be using today.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you copy the application ID and you paste it on two fields here. First is here on application ID, and you go to avatars, like in the hierarchy, you can see an avatar object and expand that, like expand on the left. Exactly. So you see a VRM dynamic. So here you see the VIVERSE provider component. You also need to paste the application ID here as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
So once you did that,
the reason why we need to do it twice here is this VIVERSE provider component, that's directly the avatar SDK, right? Whereas the other one is here is just for the command line interface.
Yeah. Cool. So let's try publishing it. And if you click on the open preview URL, which will shoot you right out to the preview URL.
Very cool. Works as expected. I have my VIVERSE avatar specifically fully rigged. That's awesome. This is just single player though right now. Before we talk about multiplayer, I'll actually note one more thing. In studio.viverse, after you upload, you should be able to refresh and go to content versions. And although you won't be able to review the actual files that were uploaded, you will now have access to this preview, guest preview, and submit for review button. So you can see here that currently there was a new version and we are no longer in the draft mode. You can also manage your published application here in studio.viverse.com if you would like to. This preview URL for anyone who's new to VIVERSE is only accessible for my VIVERSE account, the account that published the build. We do have a guest preview, which allows you to it generates a 10-minute access token, which you can share with any collaborators temporarily. For submitting for review, that allows you to set your VIVERSE world to public and to share it with any accounts that might discover it through the VIVERSE discovery pages or through just the link itself. It usually takes about 1 to 2 days to get your review fully reviewed. And after that, you can control the final world settings, including making it public. After you submit it for review, it will be unlisted, meaning that only those with direct access to the URL can access it. As I was saying earlier, this example has wonderful support for both, for all three, desktop, mobile, and VR. Now, in order to give access to the VR settings, we do have to go to apply iframe settings. This allows you to configure extra permissions, but we're specifically going to be looking under this device and sensor access tab and going to XR spatial tracking. This allows the content on VIVERSE to engage an immersive session when someone is joining who can start an immersive session. VIVERSE will allow them to, allowing you to go into the full 3D environment in VR.
Wonderland Cloud is really built and tailored for VR environments, right? You usually want spatialized audio and you want like your hand and your head positions all transferred. And often in VR, especially when building multiplayer games, you have very customized server code. So what Wonderland Cloud is able to do is mix audio on the server for maybe up to 30 people or something, which is usually a nice sweet spot when you have meetups or when you have multiplayer games where you have like 5v5 or something like that, where peer-to-peer solutions, for example, fall a little bit short, or maybe other WebSocket-based solutions don't provide the same support for VR audio, these kind of things. While you still have these mobile VR devices, which usually can't handle like 5 input and output streams and mix them together in spatial audio all the time, in addition to sound effects and music and all these kind of things. Wonderland Cloud is really made for that sweet spot of something between 10 to 30 users in VR with spatial audio and kind of server-side authoritative custom server code that you can use. But effectively, Wonderland Engine is network framework agnostic, so you can use any networking library out there, especially if you don't plan to target VR. Maybe another one might be a more effective solution for you.
So one thing you have to note about the documentation for publishing your application to a production, for setting it up for development server, we will guide you right in how we can do that as well. Okay. So initially, we have to go to Wonderland Engine's website. Yeah. I mean, not the cloud one, but rather
Okay.
wonderlandengine.com. Okay. So here, go to account. And you have to scroll down and create an API token. That's your first task. So one thing worth mentioning is like Wonderland Cloud provides an dev server, which we can use to prototype this multiplayer setup.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Before buying the production servers.
Okay. It looks like I have my token and it also downloaded something to my device here.
Yep. So we need the downloaded file. So first thing that you need to do is you need to rename the file into something very specific, which I will paste it in the chat. Okay. So yeah, you need to rename that into WLE API token.json.
You said WLP API token.json.
WLE -API token. Now we go to the cloud website, like cloud.wonderland.dev. Now we create a server. Exactly. So name anything that you want, and now you can create the server, I guess, like leave the rest as it is. Now you need to copy the server path here, like you see VIVERSE Wonderland demo /ws. Now you come to Wonderland Engine editor, and we go to the player, and in the left you see the simple client, simple example client. If you scroll down, you can see the server path. You need to paste it there. Okay. Now we are done with the initial part of setting up the Wonderland Cloud. Now we need to get into the actual cloud code. Okay. Now you can cd into the server, or like, what do we do in the Mac? I don't know. Go into the server folder.
Into the server folder.
Exactly.
Okay. Server. Okay. Great.
Awesome. Now, if you go to the package.json inside the server, okay, so you can see there is two scripts there. One to start a development server, and one is to update. So you need to replace this server URL with the newer server URL. So where do you get the server URL? You can just basically go to the cloud.wonderland.dev to get the server URL, I guess. So what you can do is you can basically copy the server path, like the VIVERSE Wonderland Engine demo. Yeah, and go there and and paste it.
So just like that, right?
No, wait. No need for the /ws. You can remove that.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's also important to have the /develop for some reason. I mean, we will make this easier after a while, I guess. Like you need to add a -develop in the exactly. So I guess like you only need to paste it on the start dev script, because that's only development server that we have.
You'll have to move the WLE-token.json file from // to here.
Gotcha.
Yep, perfect.
Now you can run the script. npm run, then start dev.
You need to npm install, sorry.
You need to do that initially, I guess. So the server is starting.
Great.
So in the meantime, you could re-enable the client in the Wonderland editor, then republish, and then share the link with us, and then it should already
Yeah.
connect to the
Great.
multiplayer server.
So I think I have it active here now,
Okay.
which is good. And then I'm just going to go back and publish.
You can click on the submit to review. Maybe you don't need to submit, but just to get to the page, then you can give
Yes.
us the guest
Yes.
preview link.
Great. So once again, this generates a big token on the end of this that I can then share with these folks. Fully functional, multiplayer. That's awesome. So this is for local development, right? We don't have to go through the full process here, but if people do want to actually publish and have this, when it sounds like if I were to close out of this terminal, it would also spin down the server, right?
That's correct.
Exactly.
So if you'd like a production server, you'd go into Wonderland Cloud and create a new server there. Make sure that's connected to a subscription. So in this case, you'd select any name there. You'd go to you'd uncheck, development server. And then you'd have to upload the final package of your server, which you can build inside that NPM project that we just launched the dev server from. And then you'd select the subscription or select checkout, which will bring you to the checkout process for actually going through like a production server. And then just copy and paste the server path again. Make sure the server URL for in the package station script is correct as well. And then you'd run the npm run start remote script, which will automatically upload the latest version. But since you just uploaded a zip, probably for the first time, you don't even need to do that. It's just going to start running and you can start connecting to it.
Tell folks who are watching a little bit about, is this a free service or kind of what level of usage is free for them?
So Wonderland Cloud provides a free trial server that runs basically while you develop. The downside, obviously, is that whenever your computer shuts down, like it won't run. However, it's a full server. So it's not like people connecting to your computer, but it's going to be just a reproducible environment, just like production is going to be. But it times out after a while. So
Understood.
Once you want to move that to production, you'll have a $5 per month server that just stays online all the time. Or if you want to use spatialized audio, we have some more highly powered servers for you for $20 a month.
So everything that we said right now is also in the README of the Discord template page for the production server. And obviously we can also add the development server setup later, but that's how we do it.
Amazing. Anything else that folks should be aware of here, things that might be a little bit unique to this plugin? I mean, overall, I think our goal with the plugin is just make it very simple to publish Wonderland Engine projects to VIVERSE, taking care of that first step of just integrating the VIVERSE accounts and giving an example for the avatars. So it might not seem like, a very like all-encompassing template, but I think it does accomplish quite a bit for just making it simple to get your experience up and running on VIVERSE with some of our SDKs. But Stephen, Jonathan, anything else folks should know about the template? Anything maybe a little bit unique that Wonderland developers might not be familiar with?
Maybe one thing about the application lock app list button. So that does this. Basically, when we click that, it will lock all the application that you already have with the app IDs. So you can just copy paste from here if you are prototyping.
If you don't want to worry about clicking into and like searching between all of your different things, this is a handy CLI feature that allows you to just review the app IDs next to the title here. One thing that could be interesting to know, when you click publish to VIVERSE, I'm assuming it packages it up into a zip file for upload. Is that stored locally anywhere? Like if I have just published, is there anywhere that I can see the latest build saved locally?
That's a good question. We are not actually doing locally storing the zip file now. We are doing it and uploading it directly. But that's one thing that we could add if you would like to.
The files that get published are all in the deploy folder. They get continuously packaged into there. So that's effectively the last state that got published. And whenever
Gotcha.
you hit the green arrow or hit the hammer icon, it will refresh these files with the latest packaged optimized version.
Well,
Cool.
I think we've covered basically everything, hopefully a pretty short, straightforward intro for everyone. But Jonathan, Stephen, we're so excited to have this plugin launching with Wonderland, one of the best tools out there for making highly performant and, just really visually and engaging XR and, desktop and mobile content out there. So we're super excited to get more Wonderland developers publishing to VIVERSE.
Likewise, and we've been seeing VIVERSE kind of pushing the space forward in very amazing ways. I think, I'm not sure if edit it out if I'm not allowed to talk about this, but I think you're like planning to add monetization very soon for developers as well, which is excellent for the entire WebXR space. And just being agnostic and accessible from every device and even desktop and mobile is incredible. And hopefully with Wonderland Engine, we can push the amount of VR content on there to the best that it can be. And looking forward to what developers are going to build.
Absolutely. And it's no secret, and maybe a good plug for us. Yes, we are adding more monetization tools over the coming month. I think November is the month where we're starting to pilot a lot of that, and we have we've started announcing a closed beta for anyone who wants to participate in. We're first releasing one-time payment and channel subscriptions. After that, in the future, we're going to add IAPs, probably add revenue sharing in the future, but we are just piloting with one-time payment and channel subscriptions. So if anyone watching this wants to get involved, if it's further down the line, look for the public documentation. But if you're watching this shortly after it releases, please feel free to message a member of the VIVERSE team if you're a Wonderland developer who wants to try out those tools. We'd love to have you.
Awesome.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for your time. Excited to launch this and see the reception.
Likewise, thanks, Mike. Looking forward what's going to happen here.
Awesome.
Same here. Also, like if someone have any kind of support needed for developing further with this template, they feel free to join the Discord channel. We're always there. Be happy to help.
Absolutely. We'll link out to both the VIVERSE Discord and the Wonderland Discord servers in the description of this video.
Great. Awesome.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. And good luck publishing to VIVERSE with Wonderland Engine.